What's up, Tracy L? How we doing? So, yeah, this is just for the what's up, D-Cause? Uh, this is for my old school night owls. That's all this is gonna be. We're just gonna kind of kick it, chill. Uh, we're not gonna talk about true crime. We're not gonna talk about any of the stuff you guys have been seeing on the channel the last couple days. Um, this is really the stuff that the channel is about. And what's up, Space Monster 61? Uh, Man, she is so cool. Um, so yeah, gonna talk a little bit about what's been going on in the news, and I don't have a whole lot. Uh, Hey, what's up, whole lot of Rosie? I'm glad you're here. Thank you for subbing and checking it out. What's up, Mignon? Um, we There's a lot of tension going on. Um, and you know, I don't follow the news too much. I don't get obsessive with it. And I'm not real well educated. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and be real upfront about that, and I've always been very upfront about that. So I don't want to come off like an intellectual, like I have a lot of opinions about what's going on, um, and what's going on with our. Hey, what's up, Barnyard Har? Uh, I'm not gonna talk a lot about too many opinions that I got because I really don't have that many, if I'm being completely honest. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. What's up, Just Shelly? Super Bears. Uh, a lot of us have a lot of us have friends, and a lot of us have family that are in the military right now, and so tensions are really high based on the latest news. I don't know way too much about it, like I said. Um, yeah, I don't know why the sound is so low. I'm using OBS because instead of StreamYard at the moment. Um, and Let me see if I can do something about that for you real quick. Um, yeah, it's hold on. Let's see here. Is this any? No, this is not any better. Uh, yeah, this is about the best I can do right now. Unfortunately, with what I've got. Um, Maybe if you know what? Maybe I'll just hold this a little closer. No, that really doesn't do anything, does it? Um, yeah, I'm real sorry about the sound, guys. And that's Leopold behind me. Um, but Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. So I think, um, yeah, this is the best I can do as far as sound right now, guys. Um, I'm real sorry about that. I'm gonna do the best I can. Or maybe if you guys want, I'll log off. I'll delete this thing, and but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna keep going. I'm sorry that sound isn't as good a quality as it could be, but again, I know that some of us have loved ones that are in the military right now. I know I do. Uh, I have friends who have kids that are in the military right now. And these are very scary times. And I don't think I don't think that what's up, hippie chick is me. I don't think that that's something that we need to I don't I don't think that's something that we should be scared of. Um, and hippie chick is me. We should be praying for all of us right now. These are really scary times. Um, and I'm just really worried about the fact that I'm worried about the reasons why these things are happening. I'm worried about what the need is, what the point is of it all, um, what the point is for all this conflict. And it's not something that sits easy with me at all. But I also try to focus on the fact that I don't have a lot of control over it. None of us have any control over this stuff. And hold on one second. Leo, what are you doing, buddy? Huh? What are you doing? There's nothing under there for you, man. Get back on the bed. All right. So, yeah, I realize the volume is very low, but yeah, and I know we've got strategic capabilities. I know Trump is a badass, and he's not the one to fuck with. And I know, you know, Iran, they're a bunch of cowards, blah blah blah. But here's the thing: is we don't our opinions in these situations don't really matter. Um, they honestly don't really matter all that much, and um, all we can do right now, in my personal opinion, is accept what's happening and hope for the best. And I know I'm not the kind of person that finds it logical to live in fear. Um, hold on, Leo. No, I'm not the kind of person that finds it logical to live in fear, and I'm not going to start doing that now. And especially if it's in fear of something that I have no control over. If some of you guys have listened to me in the past, you've listened to me before, and when it comes to when it comes to fear, I used an example that I think was pretty accurate. I told the story of the time when I went skydiving, and when I went skydiving, I was scared out of my mind. Um, I mean, I wasn't too scared. Uh, I knew I was jumping in tandem with a professional. I knew uh, that I was putting all my trust in this person as a professional. I had no idea what I was doing. I was strapped onto a guy who does this 20 times a day, jumps out of an airplane 20 times a day, and I remember getting to that point where, because when you're skydiving in tandem, you're in front. You're strapped to the guy, and you're strapped to his front, and you're in front, and he's on your back. And I remember being at the edge of the airplane and looking down, and nothing between me and air, and you know nothing but air between me and the ground, and thousands of feet of it. And it was really scary, looking down. and I was freaking out, and I was like, oh my God, you know, and I jump out and I'm holding the straps as hard as I can, and I'm like, you know, and then I remember uh, seeing the dude that had a little camera and he was filming the whole thing. And he gets in my face and he's just like, yeah, yeah, you know? And at that very moment, I realized there was no point in being scared. I mean, it's it. I'm in it. So it made no sense to do anything but enjoy that free fall. You know, if those are the last moments of my life, if that's the last, if this is, I'm going to do the best I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can. I'm going to enjoy the air that's around me. I'm going to enjoy interacting with the other guy that's skydiving right next to me. I'm going to enjoy getting, you know, just looking at the scenery. I'm going to enjoy parachuting and just the slow, peaceful fall. You know, there was nothing, there was no logic to me behind freaking out and panicking during those last moments, because those very well could have been my last moments. And make no mistake, sitting right here, right now, could be my very last moments. You sitting here listening to this could be your very last moments. So why? What sense does it make to worry about it, to argue with each other about it? What sense does it make? Because in a situation like this, let me tell you, we're all in free fall together. We're all in the same spot. We're all falling, all of us at the same time. There's no reason whatsoever to panic and freak out. There's no logic behind it. It makes no sense. So I'm going to choose to enjoy myself. Fear is illogical. The only time logic comes into play when it comes to fear, the only logical use that fear has is to keep you, is to make you learn, keep you humble. But you can't be afraid to live your life. I can't be afraid to live my life. I'm not doing that. And as a matter of fact, the truth is, if the military would take me now at 44 years old, I would go. I would absolutely go. But that's just me. That's just me. I don't expect anybody else to feel that way, and I'm not going to respect someone less for not feeling that way. Most definitely not. We all have our feelings about this. And again, I'm not educated enough to have an opinion about it, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what the politics are. One thing that I do know is I'm not blind. I'm not blind. The timing of these things, they're awfully convenient. You know? Let's be honest. The timing of all this is awfully convenient. We've got a president who is in the middle of an impeachment right before an election. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am a realist. And for those of us who are true crime enthusiasts, we know there's not a whole lot of coincidences that happen. Normally, these things are not a coincidence. But again, that realist in me understands that we don't have any control over these things. We don't have any control over these things, guys. So I'm going to enjoy my life. That's my decision. That's the decision that I'm choosing to make. I'm going to enjoy my life. And nobody's going to stop me from doing that. I meet new people every day. I meat new people every day, and I every time I meet a new person, I act in my head. I act like it's the greatest event of my life, you know, because I absolutely adore the fact that there is somebody that's right in front of me that has a whole story, and just maybe I'll get to hear that story one day. So I try to take in as much of that story as I can from that first impression, from that handshake, from that eye contact. I do everything I can to do that. Every single person. And I feel like a dick when I don't, because sometimes I don't, man. Like today I was at work, and I work at a gym, and it's that busy time of year, right? And there's all these new members, and they and I probably won't see a bunch of them until after March. I probably won't see much of them after March, because it's all New Year's resolution bullshit. People, uh, New Year's resolution, new year, new me, blah 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 blah, bullshit. Because by March it all dies down, right? Everybody says, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm start working out. Start taking better care of myself." Blah 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 blah. Nah, man. Look, man. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Enjoy your life. Because times like these, this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call. This isn't a wake-up call to start, storming the streets and start protesting, making these arbitrary efforts, because nobody's fucking listening. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody gives a fuck what you think about this country going to war, or how many troops are deployed. Nobody gives a fuck. It's never happened. Never has there been people assembling and marching other than for civil rights that has actually made a difference. If we're going to war, we're going to war. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's a big cliche, man, right? Live each day like it's your last, right, hippie chick? Live each day like it's your last. But nobody really does that, do they? Nobody really does that. But see, I'm a believer. I'm a believer in something. I'm a believer that when all this is all gone, all this stuff, you know, this stuff, you know, all this bullshit's gone. There's whatever this is, whatever this electricity is, this fire that's inside me, it doesn't die. It doesn't go away. I'm a firm believer in all that. And Christians call it going to heaven, right? Buddhists call it enlightenment, right? Muslims call it, being in paradise with 40 virgins or some bullshit like that. I don't know what that is, and that's not to insult the Muslim religion. I just never really looked into it. I have read a good deal of the Quran, actually, but I didn't understand much of it. But that's the thing, is if I try to educate myself, if I do everything I can to try to educate myself, it's for that simple reason that I just want to know more, and I want to be able to give more to other people. All I want to do right now is do the best I can with what I've got. That's all I want to do right now. What do you want to do? You want to fight? You want to complain? You want to talk about how your life could have been better if you just did that, or you want to talk about how uh, you know you were a badass in high school, but now you know you don't understand why people don't love you and respect you. You wanna you wanna you wanna go in chats in other people's YouTube channels and complain about the fact that nobody likes you. I mean, it's all arbitrary, man. It's all arbitrary. And I'm not saying that to sound negative. I'm saying that to sound the opposite, man. I'm saying this is a beautiful, beautiful world. While we still got it, appreciate it, enjoy it, look around, smell it. Take some gratitude for it. Express some gratitude for it. Express gratitude for the people in your life. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, that to me, that's pure happiness. To me, that's pure happiness. All I do, I mean, for those of you who just joined this channel, I'll explain the glare is an acronym, right? The glare is an acronym. And it stands for gratitude, logic, awareness, acceptance, accountability, rationality, empathy, and resilience. These are principles that, at a very crucial point in my life, I decided to start living by. So, ever since I started applying that, things have become much more positive in my life. Things have gotten better. Like this dude right here barking at me. What you want, dude? Huh? What you want? Get up. Come on. Get up. You want to go out? Huh? Come on. Good boy. Good boy. So see, hold on. Let me look at this chat real quick. Now, unfortunately, I'm not using StreamYard, so I can't post these comments up, but it is embarrassing. Me Against the World is saying it is embarrassing to be American when you see people saying pray for the U.S. and pray for our troops. Why do they think they are worth more than anyone else? It's gross, really. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is, to me, that's kind of the point of why I'm going on here right now. I don't see any point in worrying about that. If you're worried about how, if you're so worried about how the rest of the world sees you as an American or sees Americans as a whole, all you can do is try to be the best American that you can be. Set the example. That's the only thing you could do. Because if you start pointing your fingers at other people saying you need to start doing this and you need to start doing that, what are they going to do? What's going to happen? What's your natural reaction whenever somebody points their finger at you and says you need to start doing this and you start doing that? Because I know my natural reaction is no doubt. That's my natural reaction when people start telling me how I need to be living my life. So the only logical thing for me to do is start living my life the way that I feel fit, the way that I want to, the way that makes me happy, and try not to be a dick in the process. And I'm going to be a dick from time to time. It's going to happen. You know? It's going to happen. But I take comfort in knowing that I'm genuinely trying. You know? I take comfort in knowing that I'm genuinely making a strong effort to make my environment better. Because that's all I can do. That's all that's realistically within my power to do, is to sit there and try to live my life better. I've got this channel. I try to make this pleasant for you to listen to. I go to work and I try to make my job and my work environment better for my coworkers. I try to be funny while I'm there, crack jokes, have a good time, right? I mean, that's all we can do. That's all we can realistically do. Because the other shit doesn't work. Sitting here and bitching and moaning and acting like, oh my gosh, America's embarrassing to the rest of the world and blah blah blah. Well, then be a better American. Start there. And I'm not telling you to be a better American. I'm telling you, stop bitching about it, because if you want happiness, you're not going to get it that way. You're never going to get it that way. It's never going to happen that way. Bitching and moaning is never, ever, ever in history been the way to go to make a difference. Now, I mean, look at this. We've got, we've got, we've got a president in office that the only concern that he seems to have is making sure that he gets reelected. And some of you may argue with that. But here's the thing. If it was Obama still in office, that would be his main concern right now. This is where we're at, people. Everybody just wants more for themselves. I'm not criticizing you, me against the world. I see that you were just stating your opinion, and it's how you feel, and I can relate. When I have an opinion and I state it, I stand by it. So I respect that. Don't worry about that. I'm not judging you, and I'm not criticizing you for that. I'm saying I'm not doing with. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm just not gonna sit here and bitch and moan about the state that my country is in. Because the only way that I can logically make my country better starts with myself and my environment and how much I put into my environment. That's the only way. Let me see what Happy Life said here. Happy Life. Hi Glare, I've been a sub since the beginning, but don't post much. You're amazing and I love your oh, okay. Well, thanks. Yeah, I only went to go look at it because whenever I see a comment from somebody who's like, hey, great comment, I'm always like, oh, let me go check that out and see what that is. So yeah, man, that was really sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that. What's up, Tony Genome? Or Tony Genomi? Let's see what you're saying here. Tony Genomi, why do you always preach like some kind of evangelist? Brother, 23 people? Maybe try just being real and not like you are looking down on everyone. Is that how I'm coming off? Is that how I'm coming off to the other 22 people in the chat? Because that's not what I'm doing. At least that's not where I'm coming from. So if you feel that that's how I'm coming off, go ahead and log off and unsubscribe, because that's not where my heart is. I could be honest with you about that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I have certain things that go through my mind and I start feeling a certain way, and I have this channel, so I like to share my thoughts. I like to tell people what works for me. And hopefully,
it inspires you to do something to where whatever makes you happy. But I'm not. I'm not sitting here telling anybody what to do with their life. That's not what I'm doing. I'm nobody to tell anybody what to do with their life. I got people telling me, uh, I got people telling me, oh, you should be a life coach. I'm nobody to coach anybody's life. That's crazy to me. That's crazy talk. I'm nobody to coach anybody's life. But the thing is, though, I have found happiness. I found happiness in solitude. I found happiness in interacting with other people. And I enjoy being happy. And all I'm doing is sharing my experiences and my thought process to where I get to be happy. Now, yeah, so Lufa, I appreciate you being defending me in the chat. I do appreciate that. But you know what? I mean, anybody can say whatever they want in here, man. Um, and that's just a troll. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into that real quick. Let's get into let's get into the whole thing about trolls, because yeah, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Talking about things that are arbitrary, right? Arbitrary meaning pointless. Uh, there's no there's no positive outcome. There's not even a negative outcome to worry about certain things. It's arbitrary to do so, to worry about these things. But sitting here and letting what a troll is saying get to me or get under my skin, that's that's arbitrary. And the reason why I say that is because that's a coward using a made up name with no picture, no desire to let anybody know who they are. They just want to run their mouth. They want to run their mouth and they want to say hurtful shit without any consequence. That is a coward. That is a coward incapable of accountability, afraid of accountability, afraid to be self aware. Yeah, I know Iran said they concluded revenge for Salami, aka they don't want us to retaliate. Of course they don't want us to retaliate. You know, it's like kids in a playground sitting there and somebody comes along and one kid goes and checks the kid too rough and well, no, it's worse than that. One kid comes up and punches another kid in the face, and then that kid punches the kid back in the face, and then goes, "Okay, we're cool, we're cool, we're cool, we're cool." Right? It's you know what I'm saying? I mean, but this is a little bit different because we lose American lives and you attack Americans. You know, we've got a we've got a situation there. And the truth is, they're only retaliating against us for what we did to them, right? So, regardless of what our opinions are, here's the thing: is we don't have control over these things. We don't get to vote on whether or not we go to war. We don't get to vote on that bullshit, right? We don't get any say over that. So, what's the point in worrying about it? What's the point in getting scared? Because I'm not. I remember I was sitting here, and I was on a live stream on Real Massacre Talk with Danielle about a case um, that involved some cult that was ready for the end of the world. And I remember thinking, man, that's such an arbitrary thing to to prepare for. It's such an arbitrary effort. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? The end of the world comes, the end of the world comes. I mean, we're all going to die at some point. Every single one of us. None of us are immortal. But if you believe in something, if there's something out there that you believe in, no matter what your religion, no matter if you believe in good things, whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Buddhist, whether you're Krishna, any of these, religions that teach basically the same principles, which is be the best person that you can be while here on earth, right? That's what we need to be focused on, in my personal opinion. That's what I choose to be focused on. I choose to be focused on being the best person that I can be. Mignon, if you can drop a link for Danielle's channel, that would be cool too. If you're going to tell people to subscribe to her channel, go ahead and drop links for that. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting any more time fighting with anybody, man. These situations that the world is faced with at the moment. What good is that going to do? This awful situation that the world is faced with, that we are all faced with every single day. We're going to get up in the morning and we're worried about what's going to happen. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to utilize my body and give and exercise gratitude for the use of my limbs, because there are people out there that don't have full use of their limbs. Matter of fact, I have a very good friend of mine, somebody in this chat right now, who does not have full use of their limbs and would do just about anything to be able to do what we do, and she keeps a positive attitude all the time about it. She's always positive. She's always happy. Or at least she presents the appearance of being happy. Because she genuinely does not want to bring any negativity anywhere she goes. She has every right to complain. She has every right to be like, fuck, god damn it, this sucks. She never does. She never does. So, what's the right thing to do? If I have working limbs that somebody, and working body parts and working organs that somebody out there wishes that they could have, if they're a good person, what they're telling me to do is don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. So I exercise. I exercise a lot. I like to get cardio. I like to get my heart rate going. You know? I like to get my muscles pumping. I like to get them sore. I like to eat so that I know that my muscles are going to grow. I love that. I love sitting down and eating a meal and knowing that it's a part of my personal growth, my physical growth, and my physical well-being. And I love to sit there and acknowledge it and give gratitude for it. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to pray. But to me, that's all I think praying really is, to be honest. All I think praying really is just acknowledging something beautiful that you happen to have. And acknowledging that you're grateful for it. Yeah, soul for music, exactly. Let me read your comment out loud. And I'm going to wake up every day and take care of my boys and try to get my marriage up to par. And to just be a good person and be there for people who need me, especially those struggling. Yeah. And the reason why you do that, is not out of fear. It's not out of fear of punishment, of when you die. It's out of fear of dying with a bitter heart. It's out of fear of dying with regret. I don't want to die with regret. I never ever want to die with regret or bitterness in my heart. There's beauty in everybody, man. Sometimes people are just lost. I think the people who I honestly believe the people that we look at and we think are just fucking evil, you know? I mean, I have empathy for them because they don't see beauty in themselves. And then when you ever have a conversation with these people, you ever have like a one-on-one conversation with these people, there's always an excuse. You know what I'm saying? There's always an excuse. There's always well, you know, I, every time I try to do this, well, you know, somebody does this, somebody does that. There's always somebody to blame for them being the way they are. You can't do nothing with that. And for me, what I do is, yeah, definitely, I'm not gonna lie, I distance myself from people like this, but I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them only because they're not coming from where I'm coming from. They can't see things the way that I see them, or they won't allow themselves to see things the way that I see them. And I feel bad for their inability. I feel bad for them because of their inability to be able to see things like that. Because this is the mind frame that makes me happy, that brings happiness and joy into my life. These are people who enjoy being unhappy. Dark hearts, man. Dark hearts. I can't I can't fuck with people like that, man. I got nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing for you. Anything that I choose to use my energy for, you're going to reject. So what's the point? Because I choose to use my energy for positive things. You know, that's why I'm sitting there and I'm at work and I'm on and off because I'm at work, but I got Cap 7. Cap 7's up there, man, and he's talking positive shit, man. But you could tell he's upset and he's sad and he's hurt and he's angry. And he's angry because he's trying to do something good and people just keep trying to hurt him for it. And he can't figure it out. He doesn't understand why. And I think a part of him just doesn't want to accept the fact that there's just fucking shitty people out there. What's up, Irish? There's just shitty people out there, man. You know? He wants to understand why can't people see what I'm trying to do here? I see it. And I'm getting something out of it. You know? Cab 7, man, if you're listening, it's not going wasted on me. I log on to your lives and I listen to your positivity and I listen to what you're saying. And it hurts me. It breaks my heart to see you angry. But what's happening right now is these people are winning. What I really wish was happening right now is those of us to stand up against these people who are doing swatting and doing wellness checks, unnecessary wellness checks on people. Because that shit is bullshit. That is straight bullshit. It is an act of cowardice. You are a coward. You are a pussy. A straight coward. If you have so much hate for somebody, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to do something, man, why don't you let somebody know who you are? If you're going to do something that fucked up to somebody, why don't you let somebody know who you are? Because I've said it many times and I'll keep saying it. You're never going to catch me using a sock using a fake account, you're never going to catch me doing that, because when I insult you, I want you to know who's doing it. When I insult you, I want you to know where it's coming from. Let me tell you something, man. I'm not the one to go to war with either, man. I've spent I have spent my entire adult life at war with an awful, awful person. Somebody who just lives to fight. Somebody who just lives to make other people's lives miserable. And now I'm free. I'm free. Right? I mean, they're still out there, but they got nothing to use against me anymore. So now I'm free. Right? But let me tell you something, man. I'm real peaceful. I'm real peaceful. And I love using this channel for positivity. I like using this channel to speak my mind, even though it sounds negative sometimes, but I will speak my mind if I feel strongly about something. That's something I'm always going to do. But I'm telling you, you don't want to wake up that sleeping dragon in me, man. Because I have my entire adult life. You remember what it was like? You remember, I mean, I'm too young, but I know my history a little bit. Reason why we lost the Vietnam War was because we went up against in a land war against a country with hundreds of years of combat experience. When it comes to this bullshit, when it comes to this kind of bullshit, I have my entire life of combat experience. You're not better than me. You're not smarter than me. And I will come out on top. I promise you that. And this community means a lot to me. I love every single person that I'm interacting with in this chat. Hell, I even love the people that I don't get along with. You know? People on YouTube that I don't get along with, it's over stupid shit. At the end of the day, it's dumb, stupid shit. You know? But the thing is no matter what, no matter whether I agree with what they're doing or what they're saying, I'm always going to advocate for their right to say it. They have every right to come on here and use this platform however they see fit. Sometimes I think it's used irresponsibly, and I'll speak up on it. When that happens, I'll speak up on it. Most definitely. But I'm never going to try to take away their right to say their thing. To say their thing. You know, I'm never going to speak, try to take away and silence them and get them arrested. And I'm not gonna do coward shit like call, a police department to do a wellness check or make up some lie to where a SWAT team busts in their house and then somebody might get shot. That's some cowardly shit that I'll never do. And if you're doing that to people, man, let me tell you something. It's gonna come around. It's gonna come around because when you got somebody who's peaceful and kind like Cab 7, who's right now raising reward money to catch you, and they will catch you, believe that. When you got somebody like that, that's going to raise eyebrows. That's going to get people like me and people and other creators that actually care about this platform and care about this community and care about and don't take this platform for granted. This is an amazing platform where I get to come up here and say whatever I want. And then I got that, where I got somebody like that troll who actually has the right to make up a fake account and come in here and challenge me. Sure, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I have every right to block them. But I have every right to come up here and say things that you're either going to like or hate. And you have every right to simply not listen. That's all you have to do. Hey, I don't like this. Okay, next channel. YouTube is an endless place. Tons and tons and tons, millions of videos on different subjects, different things. This is a beautiful, beautiful platform because anybody can come on here and do whatever they want and say whatever they want. Good night, Mignon. Thank you. Yeah, Lufa, it's because you're not a fucking asshole. You know? Only a fucking asshole coward would make a fake account and go into somebody's chat and start talking shit. So I could sit there and I can let it bother me and I can get all upset and oh no, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Or I could take solace in the fact that that's just a coward. How much water does a coward's word hold? I mean, it's nothing, dude. It's nothing. Why am I gonna get pissed off? That's a silly thing to get mad about. Let's see. Sometimes Soul for Music 79 says sometimes too much though. I do have to say some people get all tripped up with some content, nothing I watch, but I've got friends who get all wrapped up in weird conspiracy shit, and that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can come up here and they could say whatever the fuck they want. You know? They can say whatever the fuck they want. The thing is, the reason why I get so big on true crime being responsible, like true crime channels being responsible with their channels, is because I think that this is a community full of people who care. And when you've got too many YouTube true crime channels out there that really don't give a shit about finding truth, all they're doing is just grasping at straws for whatever's gonna get them the most subs, you know, get them the most money from their monetization. And, you know, that's you know what's gonna happen with that is you're just fucking up the credibility of what a true crime community on YouTube can be. I like the idea of a true crime community being able to actually help victims' families, help them find justice, help them find closure. I think that can be done. I mean, I'm looking at the you know, the Heidi Broussard case. I've been working closely with Danielle from Real Massacre Talk. Danielle is all about getting the truth. I wouldn't even be doing this. I wouldn't even be pursuing this if I wasn't teamed up with Danielle. She's doing all the work. All I do is come up here and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But her team does all the work. She has a team of admins and moderators because she has Facebook groups. And she has a team of admins and moderators that do digging, man. Straight digging. And the stuff they come up with is stuff that people just don't even realize is there. Happens all the time. So this is the kind of thing that can be helpful, that can be useful. Because what happens is it gets to a point where the media doesn't think that it's worth talking about anymore, or a bigger story comes along and then everybody just kind of forgets about a woman or a child who's missing or raped and murdered. And everybody just forgets. Nobody gives a fuck anymore, right? But it it doesn't have to stop there. These true crime creators that are on YouTube, these these creators who fancy themselves to be investigators, who claim to break cases. They could do more. They don't have the responsibility to do it necessarily. They don't have to do shit. You know? I mean, that's cool. But when you get to a point to where you have thousands and thousands of subscribers, I feel like I'd be the kind of guy with a heart that would take the money from my monetization and put it towards resources. Put it towards having accounts on websites where you can look people up and check out their backgrounds. I would take that money and I would use it for shit, pulling together to hire a private detective even, if it got to that point. If I'm sitting there and I got people hitting my super chat with $20 here, $100 there, $2 there, you know, and there's fucking 1,000 people in my chat. Shit, man, I can only imagine what I can do with that. But see, that's something that I would do. I'm not saying that somebody's a bad person if they don't do that. They're free to do whatever the fuck they want with their money. Sure. You know? Why not? That's also what makes YouTube great. You know? If people are willing to just simply pay for listening to you, cool. Great. But I like to think that if I was making that kind of money, it would go towards doing what my channel can do. Finding what are the limits. What can I do to make my channel more powerful in the sense of helping other people. Yeah, an ancestry account. You know? I mean, see Cab Seven's a better man than I am. I wouldn't be doing what he's doing. I mean, as far as putting a reward together, yeah, absolutely. Of course I would do that. What I'm saying is Cab 7, what he'll do is he'll just take a shit ton of money that he's collected and then answer an email of somebody who's begging for money because they're having a hard time because they can't pay their bills. I'm that guy that goes, well, what are you doing for work? Well, why can't you work? Okay, well, send me something that tells me that you can't work, and then I'll send you some money. Maybe. I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna, you know, and bless his heart for doing that. But I'm not that guy. I could do that, but I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Most of us wouldn't, which is what makes him special. But I'm not. No. Fucking, I gotta get up and go to work. Why don't you? That's me. But the point is that, you know, there's good people on this platform that choose to do great things with their channel, and then they're hated for it, right? But I mean, you gotta figure out, man, are you willing to take the hate? Is being that good and being that positive and going through with the mission that you set out to do in your mind, right? When you created this channel, is it worth the hate? Are you willing to stay resilient through the hate? Stay strong and keep doing what you're doing? That's the question, man. That's the question. But at the same time, you know, nobody's obligated to do that. So that's why I support Cap 7 as far as catching whoever's doing this bullshit swatting, and and wellness checks. That's why I support Cap 7, because you know, he's doing this for everybody. He's fighting for all of our right to come on this platform and use our channels for whatever we see fit to use them for, without having to worry about somebody who is so desperate to shut you down, and they can't take away your freedom of speech. So what do is they find this loophole to use law enforcement and manipulate law enforcement, and pervert the use of law enforcement to hurt you. And yeah, Lufa, it does take balls to be a YouTube creator, man. I didn't think it did, but it does. You know, it's when I first came on here, man, I used to be scared as hell, man. I used to get nervous as fuck. I used to write, I used to pre-write everything that I would say live, because I was afraid of saying too much. Now I say all the fucking time. I don't really give a shit. Now, what happened to me was I got to a point to where I just stopped giving a fuck. You know, I just stopped. I just started feeling like, if you don't like me, don't listen to it. You know, I really don't care. I remember I got to a point where I was just like, I remember I kept losing subscribers and losing subscribers. I kept losing subscribers. I was, you know, and I'd go into my chat with my mods, and I'd be like, what am I doing wrong? What's happening? And then as I was doing it, I realized, okay, well, I'm worrying about what I'm doing wrong. That's what I'm doing wrong. I'm worrying about what I'm doing wrong. I'm underestimating the demographic. I'm in a way that's insulting. It's insulting to the people who log on and listen, trying to sit here and patronize you, and trying to figure out what it is that you want to hear and what you want. When the best thing that I can do is just come on here and do whatever it is that I do. Just whatever the fuck comes out of my mouth, it's gonna come out. And either you like it or you don't. That's the game. That's the game. Well, whoever told you about this loop, I'm glad they did. Um, but yeah, it was when I decided that I just didn't give a shit anymore, you know. And it's not that I don't give a shit. It's that's the wrong word to use. That's the wrong term to use. It's that I stopped worrying whether or not people are gonna like me or not. Because what happened was, what came into my head is, I was sitting there and I was complaining about this to my mods. I remember freaking out about it. I remember going through this whole thing about it. And I remember being like, damn, what do I do? What am I doing wrong? And then I remember I remember realizing, like, I have I started off, man, somehow I gained like 400 subscribers, right? And all of those subscribers were so loyal to me, and just liked me being real. And they liked me just being genuine, and they liked me just putting my naked soul out, you know? And that's it. You know? So I felt like I owed it to those original subscribers to continue doing that. And by doing that, and trying to be active in the community, and not trying to be some snobby little, I'm only doing my channel and I don't give a shit what anybody else is doing, and actually trying to interact with other people, yeah, that got me in a little bit of trouble. But at the end of the day, more people heard what I was saying. More people got an idea of what was going through my mind, and how I was, and the type of the manner in which I expressed it. And yeah, I'm sure, Emily Rose, you were told not to watch me. I think that's funny. You know, I laugh at that shit. I laugh at that shit. There's a lot of people that are subscribed to me right now that were told to unsubscribe to me, that were told not to watch me. And you know what I mean? Like, see, that to me, that's insulting. I would never ever tell people to do that. Like, what kind of arrogant shit is that? To where I have, where would I get the audacity to tell people who to listen to and who not to listen to on YouTube? I mean, if I sit there and I listen to somebody and somebody says, "Oh man, don't listen to that person. You know, they say that they're not drama, but they're all up in the drama or whatever." I'm gonna make my own assessment. I'm gonna make my own opinion. I'm not gonna just take somebody's word for some shit. You know? It's funny. Like, yeah, the big issue is that I criticized somebody with a large channel. Okay, yeah, I did. You know, but I don't have anything against that person. I don't have anything personally against them. Matter of fact, the only feeling I have for them is gratitude. But the thing is their behavior and the way they reacted to the way that I criticized them made me go, I see you now. I see you. So now, no matter what happens, that person's always going to be at a safe distance from me. No matter what happens. No matter what happens. People who showed their true colors when I did that, those people are going to be at a very, very safe distance from me. But I don't have any hate in my heart for them. I don't have any dislike for them. And yes, breaking the silence. You are entitled to your own opinion. How arrogant would it be of me to sit here and tell you who you're not, who you are and who you're not, or even imply who you are and who you're not entitled to listen to on this amazingly huge platform. This is a great platform. You can go anywhere. I see it all the time. You know, I see people who are in one chat and they're in an open chat and they're trash talking me, and then they're in my chat praising me, saying all these nice things. I see that shit. But I don't sit there and go, "Oh, you know what, man? Oh, that person's phony. I'm gonna block that person, and I'm gonna delete their comments and blah 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 blah." I'm not doing all that. That's the game. This is YouTube. There's a lot of phony people out there. I'm gonna sit there and try to fight the idea of people being phony. The hell is that? Listen, man. I said this before, and I'll continue to say it. I could either try to take my hands and push up a waterfall and try to stop a waterfall, right? Or try to stop the rain. I could try to control the rain, or I could get an umbrella. What's the more logical thing to do? So, I mean, I don't really, I'm not going to lie. I mean, people say things to me, People say things to me and they're hurtful. Sometimes they cut deep. That's okay, you know? Well, Emily Rose, what credit are we supposed to get for what we did last night, necessarily? This was me and Danielle's mindset. I think I could speak for Danielle, and I think Irish there in the chat will back me up on this. Our mindset is we got a hold of that affidavit, and we got a hold of it fast. Yes, we happen to be the first ones to 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 share it and talk about it on YouTube. Yes, that's true. But Danielle's mindset on it was, I want to get it and I want to share it. She is a true crime creator who feels as soon as she gets information, she knows that she has listeners relying on her to share that information as quickly as possible. As soon as she knows it, they know it. That's her mindset. She wasn't doing it to get credit. She wasn't doing it to get notoriety. So when there's other creators that have that mindset, let them. That's cool. We're not in competition with anybody. I'm not in competition with anybody. That's like me sitting here, and I'm a lot rougher around the edges, but for the most part, I have the same intentions with my channel that Cab 7 does. He goes about it differently. I go about my way differently, but I want to do something positive with my channel. I want people to leave my lives and end this, log off of here feeling good. That's what I want, right? So how silly would it be? It wouldn't make sense for me to be in competition with him. I'm sitting here talking about how good he is. I love that. I'm sitting here saying, hey man, go listen to him. I promote other people's channels on here all the time. It's because I enjoy their channels. I love that. I love seeing channels who either, I don't care if they have tons of subscribers, I don't care if they have just a couple of subscribers. If I like their content, I'm going to let you guys know, hey, you should check these people out. Because I'm not in competition with anybody here. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to have a good time. If it wasn't for the chat, I wouldn't even do this. I love just interacting with everybody in the chat. Well, Soul for Music 79, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're saying the credit comes from us. We like the stuff, we enjoy it, and keep watching. Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you want to put it like that, then absolutely. Yeah, we definitely got the credit that we definitely got credit. More credit than we could hope for sure. Absolutely. I had had a ton of people in the chat when we were doing it, and we had a lot of people, a lot of replays too. So yeah, and a lot of positive comments, in the comments section. So yeah, definitely. So if that's what you mean by credit for what we did, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we absolutely got the credit that we had coming for that, for our efforts. All I care about is that you guys enjoy what we're doing. I love doing this. Let's see, I've been shit down in a channel once for saying I like someone they didn't. Then they thought I was pissed, and they were all nervous that I was upset with them. I mean, come on, we all think differently. Yeah. I mean, I it's just a waste of time, man. That's what I'm saying. It's such a waste of time, and it's such a waste of energy to focus on these arbitrary things. That's the whole point of this live tonight. Just enjoy this, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy all of it. Enjoy it as much as you can. Yeah, and Z-Hounds, you're right. You say you come to YouTube to de-stress, not create more for yourself or others. And what's funny is there's a lot of channels that are all about the tension. They're all about the tension, and that's okay. That's okay, because guess what? They wouldn't have tons of subscribers if those people weren't looking for tension and looking for stress and looking to get in the middle of some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an attraction for that. It's, it's supply and demand. That's okay. I'm not criticizing anybody for that. But when you're trying to hurt somebody, you're trying to shut somebody down, you're trying to take away someone's right to do that, that's when I got a problem. That's when I get pissed off. Let's see, you give credit where I do. You're not egotistical at all. That's bullshit. I am egotistical as fuck, but some I watch are, and it drives me crazy because I love their content. But to get cocky is obnoxious. You are far from that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm necessarily cocky, but I am egotistical. Sure, I did a whole live on my ego. How egotistical is that to do a live on your ego? I did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the thing is, I'm comfortable with my ego. I explained all this in that live. Is I'm very, very comfortable with my ego, right? We should all be comfortable with our egos. You just got to control your egos. Our egos are what makes us human. Our egos are what sets us apart from animals. Our egos are part of our souls, right? I mean, confidence, ego is where our confidence comes from. It's also where our arrogance comes from. So you got to just try not to be arrogant. Try to just be confident. But understand and acknowledge the fact that you make no mistake. You are an egotistical motherfucker. Every single person in that chat is an egotistical motherfucker. That is real. You just gotta try. You gotta try to be a decent person. And I'm not saying that at you, like you gotta try to be a decent person. I'm saying that's the only thing you can do. That's all you can do. Just do the best you can. Don't let anybody shit on you for doing the best you can. I got you, soul for music. I got you. I know what you mean. Um, I mean, we're all a little arrogant sometimes. I get arrogant, you know. We all get a little arrogant sometimes. But you know what, Z? I'm not 100% sure what ego is either. I got an idea what I think it is, so I talked about it. But no, normally when I'm up here talking, I'm just thinking out loud, man. I'm just this is what I like about this. This is this I love I love just thinking out loud and saying whatever the fuck comes out of my mouth because if I'm just saying whatever's coming out of my mouth and not having it and not being scared of what it is and not knowing what it is, just kind of just letting it go, I take comfort and solace knowing that it's coming from my heart. So I love being able to share that. And that's the type of subscriber that I want. Is somebody who wants to listen to a YouTuber just speak from their heart. And that's what I'm always going to do. That's something I can guarantee you I will always do. And then it's not something that you want, then, unsubscribe, and that's okay. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not here for the numbers, man. I'm not here for the numbers. Right, loofah. That, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. You're right. Um, I like it's uplifting and it's nice when I have people in my chat, to talk to. Again, if I didn't have people in my chat, then this wouldn't be worth a shit. I wouldn't care. But and I wouldn't feel the need to do it. But I'm not I'm not you're not gonna catch me doing something crazy and some bullshit crazy stunt, man. That was actually cool, man. I was talking to my son, right? I was texting with my son earlier today, or earlier this evening, and let me see if I can find that real quick. Oh, he texted me some more, but I want to read that text that I got from him real quick, and yeah, man. So I was telling him, I was joking with him because he's a big YouTuber. Well, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he watches a lot of YouTube. And I was telling him about the channel, and I was telling him about how it's kind of growing, but it's taking time, you know, and he's never really watched it, right? He just knows me, right? My son just knows me, and that's why it touched me. What he said, and he said, nah, man, you're growing. That's awesome. A lot of people say the ones who grow the fastest burn out the fastest too. So consider it a good thing you're building yourself up genuinely and not like the people who are just doing stupid shit. And that was really, really cool. That touched me really, really, touched my heart. Um, yeah. I it's funny you say that, Lufa. You said, Z, I need to, yeah, Z, you said, like Carlin said about being fine and dandy. Z, I need to watch Carlin again soon. Yeah, I actually, I was listening, I was listening to George Carlin, the other day, and, I thought, I remember thinking like, what kind of person do I want to be? And I'm like, I want to be, the kind of guy that George Carlin would speak positively about. I don't want to be part of the problem that George Carlin saw was a problem. That's I can't think of any better way to put it. Like, I listened to George Carlin and that motherfucker was speaking the truth. And I thought, yeah, man, that's the standard that I want to be at. That's the standard I want to set for myself. I want to be the kind of guy that if George Carlin was alive today, he wouldn't have anything negative to say about me. In the young man that my son has grown into. Um, Sometimes I have to remind myself of that too. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have to remind myself, uh, you know, because a lot of the times I'm that guy that I'm that disappointed dad, because I look at him and I think, fuck, he's so smart. I wish he would just do this and he would do that. I wish he could do so much better. And I realized I spent way too much time doing that. Now he's a man, and he's dead set on being independent. So at this point, I just kind of choose to just not focus on stuff like that. I want to just I want to tell him I'm proud of him all the time. I want to tell him that he's doing all right. He knows. I mean, I don't have to support him anymore. He's an adult, you know. But I should always support him emotionally, you know. And I wasn't always real good at that. But I wasn't always the person that I am now. This is very new. This person that I'm trying to be. So So this whole thing going on with Iran and everything, it just got me thinking, and I thought it would be nice to come on and tell you guys basically where my heart and my mind is at right now. And yeah, the whole point really is I'm not, you know, my first instinct is to be afraid, but I'm not gonna be afraid. It's arbitrary to be afraid of something that I have no control over. Um, what I do have control over is myself and what I contribute to my immediate environment. And that's what I'm going to focus on. So, and I'm going to do my very best to have a blast doing it. And I hope that I get to do that with all you guys. So let's have some fun, right? Let's not let this get the best of us. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Irish. I was at such, yeah. That's the other thing is my son. My son's a dick, but but he gets that from me. I have to take accountability for that. I have to take responsibility for that. I mean, first of all, the genetics are there, and second of all, the example that was set for him is there. Oh, excuse me, it's getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna be logging off here in just a minute. But yeah, most definitely, man. How am I gonna get mad at him for that? Can't get mad at my kid for being an asshole, and when that's all he's known, right? Considering that, he's doing pretty damn good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I, and on top of that, that would make me a hypocrite, man. Like I was doing way worse when I was his age, and it took me forever to emotionally grow up. It took me forever, but him, I mean, he's up there, man. Yeah, Lufa, I totally agree with you. I think 2020 is going to be a great year. And it's completely within my power for it to be a good year for me. And I believe it's just as much within my power, just as much as it is within your power to make 2020 a good year for you. Yeah. Your daughter's an asshole, and you know exactly why, because you're probably an asshole. That's all right. It's all right. A bunch of assholes in this chat. It's all good. It's all good, man. Yeah. And there's a lot of, man, let me tell you guys something. It's been a long time since I went on and talked like this on my channel. It's been a while, and I gotta tell you guys, there's a lot of new faces in here, or a lot of new names, a lot of new usernames I'm seeing in here, and uh, and everybody is it's like it's like you guys have been part of this since the beginning, man. You guys have been really really cool. So, man, thank you guys so much for coming in here and being positive. Because I get scared, man. I get scared of getting a bunch of new subscribers, and I'm just like, fuck. That still happens. What if they hate me? What if they hate me? What if no matter how many times I try to tell them I'm not a true crime channel, I'm not a true crime channel, they still expect me to do true crime, and then they're like, well, fuck this guy. You know, I still go through that. I'm a socially awkward motherfucker, man. Like, seriously. Yeah. I'm sure someone thinks you're an asshole too, Robin Lane. Let me tell you something. If you're a real genuine person, somebody thinks you're an asshole. Somebody does. But I always, again, I've said it before on this channel, and I will say it again on this channel. How other people feel or think about me is none of my business. So, take some comfort in that. How other people feel or think about you is none of your business. That's their problem, not yours. As long as you're being genuine, you set a standard for yourself and you're doing your best to live up to that standard, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. Nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, man. Hell yeah. So, yeah, I mean, listen. Here's the thing. If I'm on here and my intention is to be as genuine as I can be, and I'm not pissing somebody off in the process, I'm not saying anything worth listening to. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. But I appreciate you guys coming in here. Uh, I know it's late. So many new faces. Um, so I really, really appreciate you guys being part of the chat. I'm gonna be coming on a lot more often. Of course, with the Heidi Broussard thing, I'm gonna be staying on top of that with Danielle. Any true crime cases after that, probably gonna be doing it on Danielle's channel. But I've already got a snowball rolling here on this channel when it comes to that case. So we're gonna keep doing it on this channel, and then hopefully that case will come to a close very soon. And Shane and Silas and Margot uh, and Heidi's parents will get the closure that they deserve, and the justice that they deserve. So, guys, I love you guys a lot, and I really appreciate you guys logging on, and I really appreciate you guys being cool in the chat the way that you have been. My favorite thing when I do these lives is to see the chat get along, because I'm looking and I'm reading the conversations you guys are having with each other and everything. I remember I started off with collaborating with another creator, um, and I remember she would tell me, "Don't look at the chat," right? And it's true. The chat can be pretty distracting from what you're trying to say. I remember she also said something like, what was it? She also said, "Well, you need moderators in there, because if people are talking amongst each other and having these conversations amongst each other, they're not paying attention to what you're doing. So you need to like have your moderators making sure that the attention is on you." See, I don't think of it that way. I like this place to be a place where people can chat. It's a chat. That means I love seeing people interact with each other. I love the idea of you guys talking and saying what's up to each other, and then maybe you guys will mosey on over to another channel and run into each other there, and this just be a cool place for y'all to kick it, man. That's all. That's all I want this channel to be, is just be a cool place where you guys can kick it and get good information, you know? So, anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with that. I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.